And my first rule of leadership is what I call OST, and for me it's the most important one. The idea for this came to me from Bill Clinton, who I would put up there with, when people say who are the leaders I most respected. I mean, Mandela's in a kind of league of his own because he's a saint, but in terms of actually what they were able to deliver as leaders in this very difficult modern media age, the three I always pick out are Clinton, Tony, and aforementioned Bertie Ahern. All had the difficulties, all unpopular at times, but actually in terms of following some of these rules and delivering as a result, they're the ones that I respected the most. OST is objective, strategy, tactics. And the reason, I'll just tell you a little story to illustrate it about Clinton. On the day that the Starr report came out, and you imagine what it's like being Bill Clinton on the day that happened. You've got this guy, Kenneth Starr, has been given unlimited funds to dig into your private life, your financial life, your wife's private life, your financial, everything going back. And this report is going to come out. And he's decided, Kenneth Starr, the so-called independent prosecuting counsel, has decided he's going to put it on the internet so that it doesn't give the evil White House spin doctors any time to kind of manipulate it, and it's just going to get out there like that. You imagine what it's like being Bill Clinton on a day like that. At the time that was happening, Clinton was talking to Tony about the decommissioning of Soviet nuclear weapons. And when the call finished, Jonathan Powell, Tony's chief of staff, and I went in and said to Tony, that was pretty amazing that he was able to focus like that. And Tony said, yeah, it was. Now, a few years later, when Clinton's book came out, I did an interview with him for British television. And I didn't tell him I was going to remind him of that conversation, but I did. And I said, how were you able to focus on something like that, the decommissioning of Soviet nuclear weapons, at a time when all that stuff was going on around you, when the whole world literally was getting ready to sort of gorge on every aspect of your private life and everything else? And he said, look, I had a really, really clear objective at the time, survival. I did not want to get hounded out of office in disgrace. He said, my strategy was to get up every day and focus on those things that only I, as President of the United States, could actually make a difference. And he said, my tactics were to make sure the American people knew that's what I was doing. And you know, sometimes it takes somebody else to say something about a completely unrelated situation to the ones that you're involved in yourself for something to fall in place. But I like to think that before that, and certainly since then, anything I've ever been involved in, whether it's in politics or some of the stuff that I'm doing now, that is the most important thing you've got to do. Really work out the objective clearly, only then sort out the strategy, and don't even think about being tactical until you've got those two in place.